All right, it's time to talk to the father-son, presumed father-son duo.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blond man stands next to you, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles.
You, officer, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I was just telling my son about this building. Not many people appreciate the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Hypertext?
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
He's just making up fancy words. This doesn't mean anything.
What were you saying about the windows?
Oh, yes. So, Mikhail, they had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
What the fuck? All right, you were talking about the building. Continue, please.
Very important. Mikhail, say hi to the officer.
He rests his hand on the boy's shoulder. The child stays hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching to his worm-themed color book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into worms lately. But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why?
Really? What's so fascinating about an empty old building?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
He raises his hand to his eyes, springtime sun warming his handsome face. All three of you turn to admire the mural before you.
What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Hold on. What's R&D?
Research and development, you dumbass. Look at the building.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
I don't think I've ever heard of the field electrical.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains.
He adjusts his suit jacket.
They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve? I'm mixing my metaphors here.
What ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
Tape computer?
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bringing them to the average consumer, which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
He grins, admiring the sentence he just produced. What the fuck is going on with this guy? What happened?
Indeed. What?
The revolution!
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes, possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins. All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
What happened to the engineers, the company people?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
What did the revolutionaries do with the tape computers?
They used them for military communications. but also to write and send out press releases. The most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars.
What's that?
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02. It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album Bon Baiser dans le Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
How do the two tape computers work?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century
He's fucking
hardware.
with me. He has to be.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Womty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Juice joined the team, trying to...
Wait, did he just say Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center?
Bullshit.
He did it. He said Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world.
The Wompty Dompty Center, Paul Ockerman, Keith and Guy Juice. What the fuck are you talking about?
the Womty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Arts. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to...
Come on, bro. There's no place called the Wompty Dompty Dom Center of Arts.
In fact, I'm not. The Womty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center. But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
The RCM should get some of those.
Even one would be very useful. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to the precious device. But so they did. The failed playback experiment vanished into the fires of '07.
Why'd the revolutionaries destroy it?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
You're saying that Feld Electrical built this boardwalk?
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A wheel!
The kid looks wistfully at the horizon as if picturing the gondolas rising to the sky.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
Okay, so this idea he just gave me, the Wompty Dumpty Dom Center. It's Wednesday evening and something heinously exciting is underway. People have gathered beneath the billowing roof of an oddly shaped trophy building, sipping wine and exchanging opinions. 29-year-old Wunder twins, Guy and Keith Just, are the star of the show with their bomber jackets and white sneakers, head curators of this art expedition. It's the Wompty Dumpty Dommiest event of the year, and all the cool kids have RSVP'd. Where are you, if not here? Let me see if I have anything worth getting rid of. This, find better loot and lock containers, is probably gotten most of the use out of that we need, I imagine. So we will forget it. And we'll learn the Wompty Dumpty Dom. I want to ask you something else.
But of course, what else?
You look like you have money. Do you have money?
I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
He's not gonna give you money. What are you doing? Clearly you were just profiling.
Yeah, I don't want your money. I just wanted to see whether my profiling skills were working.
Of course, Detective. I wouldn't have assumed anything else. Matter of fact, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the Vespertine Department of Justice has published a rather interesting paper on the criminal profiling in former socialist states. Have you read it? If not, then you definitely should. If not for tips and tricks, then just for theoretical curiosity. Anyway, that's just a little something that sprang to mind. You were saying?
Forget it. They don't sell those kind of books at crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
Sure. But of course, no thanks to you.
Oops.
Hello again.
Yeah, all I really had to say was, see ya. Okay, maybe there's more to talk to him about later.
You see, a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Ah, yes. Their famous motto. A fine example of technological optimism from...
He says something, but the wind blows and you can't hear him. Probably some bullshit. Alright. We should probably go finish talking to our cryptozoologist friends. See if this Dingleberry has anything more to say.
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law.
I think I already asked him some of this, but... So, Gary, you live in a nearby apartment in Martinez?
Sure do, officer.
His eyes narrow slightly. He's wondering where this is going.
Mr. Clare must be very angry with you.
Mr. Everard?
Yep, he told me to open the door to your apartment.
So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. No, tell him I'll make it up to him. What have I done? He'll send the muscle after me.
Try not to shit yourself, Gary. It's just an open door.
What could it be about? I probably talked too loud. In the whirling. About some theories I had. Whatever it is, I'm done with it. I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you, or the Union, just ask, okay? I'll try to help if I can.
Ooh, a little browbeating.
This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear. Has to prop himself up with a lot of anger to keep it together.
Do you know anything about the hangman behind the whirling and rags?
I told you everything. I just took the queerest, that's all. I promise.
Okay.
I don't know anything else.
Are you a cryptozoologist too?
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
What does he do then? This feels like a good opportunity to dominate him.
So what do you do then, if not cryptozoology?
Oh, this and that.
Sounds shady.
Officer, I would never. I just didn't want to bore you with unnecessary detail. I work as a special courier. You know, urgent deliveries, overnight deliveries, deliveries to out-of-the-way locations.
Okay, so you're a delivery boy. What kind of things do you deliver?
Oh, I don't know the contents, officer. Part of my job is discretion.
Fascinating.
Yes, officer?
Wow, so someone's been a little boring.
What?
Yes, my standard liege. Someone's seen all sorts of wild ideas pop off and thought, I'll take the boring one. The regular, please. The brown.
I like brown.
Of course you do. And maybe some black shoes or a pristine white shirt to go with that. It's official. My lord's Copo type is regular cop. I'll let everyone know. I'll send out a telefax.
I'm not a regular cop. Fuck you. Yeah, no need. Let's keep that announcement on standby.
Good, good. Of course. To outright declare yourself something does seem a bit too interesting now, doesn't it? I won't trouble you any further.
Fuck you.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officer.
You must be Morel, the cryptozoologist.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Your wife Lena sent me. She's really been worried about you and is waiting for you to get back. Oh god, this is awesome because I'm a fash cop. Man to man, you shouldn't leave your woman unattended in a cafeteria surrounded by communists.
The cryptozoologist's companion says nothing, but nods approvingly in your direction.
So that's what this is. Lena sent you. Can't say I blame her. We've been here for days. That darn water lock is broken, and we can't go under the 881.
Yeah, fuck it, I'll just tell them the truth. Yeah, that was me. I broke the water lock with my motor carriage, but I fixed it now. You can go back.
You broke the water lock with a motor carriage? But there was a billboard in the canal. Not a vehicle. It said Samaran Butter.
Yeah, it was totally the sign's fault. Anyway, you can go back now.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long. I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we go in.
He refastens a bit of netting that has come loose in the wind. Oh. Did you know Gary was hiding armor?
Hell no. I had no idea. And I'm still cross with him, to be honest. It's not like him. He's got his quirks, but dishonesty, disloyalty are not one of them.
Thanks.
The man mutters in the distance. He doesn't dare to say more.
He's still glad his friend stood up for him.
All right. Tell me about this phasmid.
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
Why is it so hard to find?
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there? And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists, in our present case.
So, what sort of special techniques does the phasmid use to hide itself?
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defenses that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defenses work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this phasmid.
How big is this phasmid?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
Seems puny, to be honest.
So why are you so interested in stick bugs? Aren't there more sensational animals out there?
Typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of of any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defenses, find out how it stayed hidden so long,
Would be glory itself.
So what have you learned so far?
very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
So no one's ever found one.
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
But if no one can prove it exists, how do you know it's real?
I know it's real.
He says briskly enough that even he seems taken aback by it.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
Your wife said there's been a sighting here in Martinez.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Maybe the phasmid has died out.
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
What?
Yes, the females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions.
Females reproducing without males? A travesty, a crime against passion and common sense.
Nature does not concern herself with ethical propositions. As a
Fucking
scientist,
die.
my interest is strictly dispassionate.
Tell me more about your traps.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
She designed them?
Yes,
How do they work?
simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
What are you going to use as bait?
Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course, but we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm.
What if the traps don't work?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing.
Yes. What?
How'd you become a cryptozoologist?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
He seems reluctant to talk about himself, but he'll open up, if you prod a little.
So, you're living your childhood dream, huh?
It's not child's play, just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often.
Why not just be a zoologist? Real animals are puzzling too.
Real. I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does.
I don't. It's a profession just like any other.
Indeed. My methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence. And I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
Your nerve endings tell you there is no such thing as a positive surprise.
Life surprises are usually, I need to take this so I don't die, are usually miserable.
Agreed. Yet there is always a chance, albeit a small one, of a truly good surprise. One simply needs to look at the history of science. Serendipities abound.
Has anything truly surprising ever happened to you?
No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid, although I have come close. Close enough to keep trying.
Interesting. Something for later, this close call.
What kind of evidence do you have? Do you use?
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the phasmid. I keep a very open mind.
So you've never discovered a cryptid?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
So how many cryptids have you found?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemnee, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
Only 2 have been proven to be real?
Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Grad, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves, more so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
Fuck yeah. Then the Insulindian phasmid will be the 3rd.
Indeed. If our expedition is successful, every paper in the world will report on it. From Revachol to Dushantu. It will be a zoological miracle.
The hair on your arms stand up. Electricity. Sounds like reeds hissing.
Thanks for that. Now about something else.
Yes?
You should go back to your woman, Morel.
By woman, you mean my wife, I assume. I will return to her, but I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
Come on, Morel. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
I didn't know the phasmid was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
She's seen it.
Really? She saw it? She didn't tell me that.
Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
Needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious phasmid.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
Maybe you could go back to the whirling, warm up, and check the traps later.
No, no, no. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
He's dead set on this. I could go for some trap setting.
What if I check the traps for you?
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
Cryptozoology and detective work are similar.
Yes, indeed. Both require a great deal of research, attention to detail, and, above all, persistence.
Where are the traps?
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them, you should check at least one of those before returning to this one. Since I just said it, this one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
What if I encounter the phasmid?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed. It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
Lay it on me thick. He douses you with the odd-smelling spray. A double helping as you present yourself your other armpit, and then he gives you a satisfied nod.
This is the smell of dying reeds, of longing crumbling into the water.
What do I do if there's a phasmid in one of the traps?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
I'm ready.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask.
Finally, you're being sensible. I'll start packing right now.
I'm good for now.
Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center. You're at home, stupid cop. Not with the art crowd. You hate them. Everyone hates them. Even they hate themselves. It's nauseating. An industry built on sprezzatura and sparkling wine. And, let's be honest, tax evasion schemes. The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center is the heart of this unholy symbiosis of aesthetics and tax optimization. And now that you've internalized it, you can have a piece too.
Oh, fuck. I get -2 suggestion for being a pretentious wanker. Yeah, I gotta get rid of that shit. Because suggestion's actually one of my skills.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before. Same mesh, same wiring. Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them. Behind you, the ruins of a residential building loom over the reeds. They whisper amongst themselves, confidentially. Snowflakes cling to their shivering stems. When this district was booming, the reeds were kept at bay. Nothing obscured the freshly painted facades. Nowhere for drunks and adventurous teenagers to hide. Now only the wind blows.
Go ahead and try to get all the traps checked. I need to... In a couple hours, I gotta get my gun. Oh, I gotta go see the dice maker, but I should probably do that tomorrow. She's probably... she might be still up. I'll do that tomorrow.
A familiar apparatus lies among the reeds, another one of Morel's traps, weighed down by stones to keep it in place. The reeds bend forlornly toward the sand. Snow covers the broken stalks like a shroud, and they shimmer, ghostly, in the darkness. In the east, the city center hums to you, the constant, distant song, louder on this part of the coast, nearer somehow, and there's that cold again. Always the cold. This trap is also full of panicked locusts. No sign of any cryptozoological beast inside. Man, it's lonely doing this alone. The wind seems to howl in a strange manner.
You feel the shadow of a very large building fall under you. Dusty pews in the shadows, many of them seem to be missing. An altar shrouded in the dark, or something like that. It's too dark to tell. I'm not gonna go into the church yet. I'm gonna find this trap. The sign reads Saint Brune 1147. You can imagine why calls become terrible sometimes. You can imagine why calls become terrible sometimes. I don't know what the fuck that's talking about. But. These rusty gears you used to turn the whole machine. The building before you housed the engine. Must have been a big one. The chain trails off into the ocean, to who knows where. The barrel has been recently discarded. It still smells of fuel oil.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
What is this thing anyway?
The concrete structure looks military in origin, over half a century old at least, but sturdily built.
Can't do that. Try later. It's a red check, so if I fuck it up, I can't do it again. I'd rather not.
This trap's not too hard to spot, once you know what to look for. Keeping it hidden has not been a priority for the cryptozoologist. The reeds sway in the coastal breeze. They seem to be waiting for something. The wind picks up here, near the cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold for this time of year. Nothing but locusts in this trap as well. Definitely no cryptozoological monstrosity.
Oh, did I forget to? Cigarette butts cleaned away under the rock. Brand Tuimuitiri. Take a mental note. Tuimuitiri seems important somehow. A rusted, broken control box for the radio relay tower. This ladder is too rusty to climb. The sea air has eaten away at it. Oh, we got a tie. Oh, a scarf. Tiny inlets there, off in the far distance, where the posts trail towards. Did I really forget to check? Near the canal, boathouses. Okay, I must have missed this one. The boardwalk rises to your south. It casts a long shadow over you.
This is the last of the traps. The one Morel just set. Checking it over, he said, is just a technicality. The reeds hiss and shake in the darkness. That has settled over the abandoned camp. It's good the cryptozoologists left. This isn't a very cozy place to stay night after night. The later it gets, the colder. Remnants of the camp can still be seen in the sand. The fire that's gone out. You feel strange, somehow. The trap feels light and silent as you pick it up. Something is different here. No locusts.
Whoa, it's empty. Morel didn't leave it empty.
Your voice echoes on the coast, carried by a gust of cold wind.
Look closer.
Nothing. No traces of the locusts or the Insulindian phasmid. What happened? The netting is a little untidy. Messier than the others. Like someone or something picked the trap up and shook it before dropping it back down on the ground. The reeds continue to hiss around you as you put the empty trap back on the ground. Time to consult the professionals, Morel and Lena.
Sick. To your right, a white-bellied cormorant eyes you suspiciously. It must have taken a lot of patience to do this. Painted with pastels, someone is trying to bring cheer to the world. Trash from some unending party. A pole screwed into the ice keeps the tent erect. More tribalistic markings. This post is covered in little humanoids.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Dear child, it's freezing. Where is your hat? I'm not. I'll ask her. If that's still there, I'll ask her that next. Where's your hat?
Huh?
I said you should have a hat.
So should you.
You don't have to do anything.
I don't have to do anything. I'm the law. You have to do what the law says.
Real cool.
Way to abuse that power, man, she says, thinking you can't hear her. She bats away your questions like flies. She's not intimidated by mere police officers.
And the law says you have to wear a hat in this weather.
What kind of law says that?
The hat law.
Yeah, well... Look, man, fuck the hat.
Your pulse rises. What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law.
And that's why I'm glad I have fucking 16 authority. Authority heroic. Regain authority in her eyes.
Your eyes are fixed on her as everything gets very still. Dangerously so.
Excuse me? What did you just say?
She looks down, pretending to be busy with the device. Make her meet your eyes. The kid isn't arrogant. She's just afraid to look you in the eye. You already put her in her place.
I'm the police. You would do well to avoid this kind of language with me.
You're right. I shouldn't have sworn. I'm sorry.
She looks up like a scolded schoolgirl, her years concealed beneath thick makeup.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. Most men wouldn't exactly call her pretty. There is a manliness to her, a coarseness.
I have some questions for you.
Okay.
What's your name?
Estelle.
Estelle who? I'm not a young suitor. This is official police business.
Okay, it's Berger.
What device do you have there?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
And the wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
What's that?
A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Nice. You could maybe bug someone with it. Wiretapping.
How does it... Where'd you get that from?
Same place I got the recorder from, the Palaceum.
What's the Palaceum?
Oh man, you haven't been to the Palaceum? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Thinking about it really cheers her up. It's a long way from here, though.
Sound interesting. Who's Arno?
Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Palaceum going kind of person.
Hey, didn't Piss and Fuck the World mention Van Eyck too?
Is this like a skull thing?
A skull thing? Man, you sound like 100 years old when you say that.
No, you don't. She's mistaken you for an old person. Say you're cool.
I get down.
I don't know what that means.
I grind.
I don't know what that means either.
Me neither, but I do have concrete evidence that I rock in the form of a wrecked tape player and a completely trashed hostel room.
That's cool.
She breathes on her fingers. Looks like she doesn't know what to say. I guess you're right. Time has deserted me.
Sucks, man. Was there something else? About the contact mic, perhaps?
How does the thing work?
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble. Okay,
What are you doing out here in the cold?
recording, I guess.
What are you recording?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
What happened to the old headphones?
What happened to your old headphones?
My boyfriend sold them.
For what?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
Everything checks out, sire.
And what are these recordings for the cracks, the footsteps?
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain. Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
The girl is cold all of a sudden. Very cold.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
She looks at the recording device. The thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish. Very useless all of a sudden.
Here, you need this more than I do. Give her your hat.
Thanks.
She puts it on. It's a bit large for her. You want my jacket?
No, man, fuck that. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
Sigh.
She's shivering a bit.
You said it's supposed to be a music place. What's it? What is?
That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really not gonna be a Palaceum, that's for sure.
And who are these boys?
The boys?
Yeah. Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
Okay, I have some other questions.
Go ahead.
Tell me more about this music place you've been planning in the church.
It's supposed to become, like, a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that, yeah.
She looks at the old wooden church up on the poles as a mean wind comes bellowing in. The 6-story structure lets out a doleful shriek.
The floorboards are twisting, and the shooting beams are slowly cracking, like bones. Far east of the Golden Delta, beyond the industrial port, there is a black patch of unlit coast with the smallest creatures on the ice. There will never be a club for anodic music here. Not in a million years.
What is anodic dance music?
You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments.
Electronic instruments, huh? Like what?
Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like, if it ever comes.
You want to turn the church into a club?
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, you're a cop.
No, I'm the law.
Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys, because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right?
Yeah, I'll talk to him.
They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else? Go ahead.
You seem surprisingly comfortable with being questioned. Why is that?
Well, it's just questioning, right? You're just questioning me. It's what cops do.
Have you been questioned before?
Once or twice, yeah. I'm sorry I haven't had the Revachol experience they get east of the river.
What do you mean, east of the river?
Rich people. Rich people are east of the river.
That's probably gonna kill me. God damn it, if this fucking kills me, I usually lose morale if you say this shit. This fucking game. Strange, the existence of rich people die. Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We're gonna actually do
Okay.
this. So I forgot how I fast travel here. Okay, we need to go to whatever. We need to go increase our morale. This is someone's home away from home, just like yours.
A pain of barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough.
Push it.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
Okay, we're coming right back. A school of fish huddle around the fence post and scatter into the dark. I thought you could fast travel. That is odd. Maybe there's a reason it won't let me. We're just gonna go buy some drugs or something to make our morale high again. I hope the store's open. If not, we might be in trouble. Sweet.
The tear machines, your bottles clunk. A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays.
Okay, here. I hope St. Matisse makes you feel better or something. Okay, here.
Now I can for some reason. Cool. Now let's finish talking to this girl.
Hello again. Well, it's just questioning, right? Once or twice, yeah.
What's east of the river?
Rich people. Rich people are east of the river.
Let me guess, these rich people are not from around here.
Aren't they?
I fucking
I
told
thought
you.
they were as vachelaire as any of us. Just way richer.
Oh no, they're foreign bodies, agents of international capital. You only need to look close enough.
Maybe
He's
you're
not
right.
wrong.
Most of them do speak 3 languages.
So, what trouble have you gotten into with the police?
The usual. I had a shitty run as a teenager.
What's the usual?
You know, drinking, getting into fights. The ugly stuff that happens when you move out your parents' place at 13. In Forberg.
What's in Fallberg?
Is this a rhetorical question?
No.
Okay. It's a huge ghetto just south of Jamrock.
Why'd you have to move out so young?
My dad was a drunk. Plus, I guess I just wanted to drink too, you know. Get my party on.
I get that. I'm a major party animal myself. Major.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna get this shit.
Hello again.
Empathy legendary. The tape recorder lies on the ice like a discarded toy. Pick it up.
The device is cold to the touch. An angular Omicron logo adorns the yellow plastic cover. Underneath, you see a reel of tape rolling. You put the device back on the ice.
Okay. It's a little annoying. We might spend a point in empathy. We'll try it a little bit more. I'm not against spending a point in empathy. I need it anyway. Oh, my hat. Maybe I have a hat that increases empathy. I don't know. Probably shouldn't have given her my hat, but I guess it was the right thing to do. God, that is ugly as sin.
Hello again.
The device is cold to the touch.
You bastard game. This is going to be the end of the episode, so
Hello
pardon
again.
me.
The device is cold to the...
It's a fucking 42%.
Hello again.
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands.
I'm sorry you have to sit here on the ice feeling miserable. At your age or any age, in this weather, waiting for it to get dark.
She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup.
The people who built this world intended it to be better for you, but they failed. It's easier to live in their failure with this by your side.
The wind howls. She remains silent. It's real. Tell her.
It's not a childish fantasy. It can be a real weapon against what's coming for you now.
What is?
The darkness.
I know. I'll stick to it.
There is little you can do to help her now. But given the chance, you feel like you should. There is something about her. A weightiness. Something changes between you two. She looks at you differently now. As an equal. A fellow human being.
So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer?
This dialogue is so good. You said eating me? There's nothing eating me.
Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boyadero about it if you want to.
I guess there is something that's been making my life hell.
What is it?
This one is, I don't want to say, like, it's just dumb. This is a nice conversation. People just, this isn't even what I thought was eating at me. People just keep putting their selfish interests ahead of the greater good. I do feel for the working class too, but I'm not a communist. People just keep putting their self-interests ahead of the greater good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, sometimes no one understands that sometimes you have to make sacrifices for the sake of progress. It's very distressing.
So, the thing that's been eating you is the slow pace of social progress?
No. That's not it, is it?
No, it sounds like you just got chick issues.
Now that you mention it, I found these letters I'd thrown in the trash. They might have something to do with it.
Okay. Why'd you think that?
They were written in a woman's hand, and oh boy, did reading them make me not feel so good.
There you have it then, chick trouble. Not political after all. Who was she?
I don't remember.
Really? You seem to be pretty upset about this chica. Are you sure you don't remember anything about her?
I remember her scent, and that's all.
Wow, man. That's some pretty strange shit. Are you sure the letters were for you?
Yeah, I'm sure. Why would I have reacted so strongly otherwise?
How come you don't remember, though? Is it like some selective memory thing?
What do you mean by that?
Man, when I get hurt, I just want to forget that shit, you know? That kind of selective memory.
Yeah, you have a point.
Yeah. Or it might just be some psych bullshit, you know? Königstein wank.
What is Königstein wank?
You know, the psych thing they've got going on there. Rich people like it. People in Königstein are mostly rich.
Thanks for the bullshit psych thing, then.
You're welcome. Might be for the best to keep that shit forgotten, though. Just my opinion. If it itches, don't scratch.
Yes, but it itches really, really bad.
Well, it's just question. Go ahead.
Okay. We're gonna end it here and go into the tent and talk to these dingleberries after next time.